We're family. We fight with you.
You won't win. I've always found it best not to look into the past.
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks.
At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are. I made my choice. I'm done running.
Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my new Marvel Black Widow movie video. There's a bunch of announcements about what Disney is going to be doing, Disney and Marvel, with the actual release of the movie. People have been asking about them putting it on Disney+. Apparently, there's some news about that now. So I'll explain what's going on, and a lot of it has to do with what Warner Brothers is doing with their movies in 2021 and what's happening right now in the world just in general with movie theaters. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're obviously in the middle of WandaVision. I'm doing episode videos for all that. We're going to have Falcon and Winter Soldier starting in March. So there's a lot of really, really cool Marvel stuff coming up. We're doing that Disney Plus memberships giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just leave all your predictions about the Black Widow movie on the video. So if you didn't see the news in the past week, there's a new report from Variety's Insights team, which is a very insidery business report that they publish about the movie and TV financials, studio politics, them releasing movies and TV shows. And in it, they talk about how Disney is making some changes to their plans for the Black Widow movie release date because of what's been happening the last couple of months and now at the beginning of 2021 in January. You may have seen that a lot of studios just delayed all their big movies pretty much up through April. And last week, Kevin Feige was doing a bunch of interviews to hype up the WandaVision episodes. During those, he talked about everything from Deadpool 3 to the Fantastic Four movie to their new rebooted X-Men movies they're doing in the MCU. But he also talked about what's happening with the Black Widow movie because now everybody's wondering if they're going to have to delay it again. You probably saw when all the movie delays were happening, people were making jokes in their timelines like, just wait for it. Disney's going to announce they're going to delay that Black Widow movie one more time. It's already been delayed almost as many times as the New Mutants movie. Last year, when a lot of things got delayed, they figured that by this time and by March, April 2021, things would be better, theaters would be open, but so far that has not been the case. The UK is currently under a big lockdown. The US has been under a big lockdown. There's still a lot of other places around the world where theaters are not open and won't be open for a while. That's why Warner Brothers came up with their real grand plan to release all their 2021 movies on HBO Max last year. Like, we need subscriptions, and it doesn't look like things are going to get better. So why don't we just put all of our movies on HBO Max and in some theaters on the same day for all of 2021? But in terms of the Black Widow movie, right now, just nothing beyond April has been delayed again. So there's still a chance that they could hit that May release date. But the big problem that Marvel has that a lot of other studios don't have with their movies is that if they delay Black Widow again, they have to delay every other Marvel movie into like 2023, like pretty much every future Marvel movie. One of Marvel's biggest strengths, the connected nature of its movies, also becomes a big problem too, like we're at the beginning of Marvel Phase 4 right now. All the movies happen in a certain order for a reason, because each one tells a little of the overarching Infinity Saga style story that helps connect everything building up to Avengers 5. It's like you're watching a TV show that's serialized and each of the episodes costs $200 million. So they delay Black Widow again, it means they'd have to delay the Shang-Chi movie, which is coming this summer, the Eternals movie, then Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, Love and Thunder, and so on. The dominoes keep following well into 2023. Most of you who are still in school right now, if they kept delaying movies, you would probably be married with children by the time Avengers 5 rolls around. But back last year in 2020, when the lockdowns first started happening, after the first few movie delays, everyone just started asking, why don't you just put Black Widow on Disney+? Why not put the movies on Disney+? Disney pretty much has infinite money, and they can just take it on the chin a little bit for a couple movies.
What do we have here?
There's also that extra $30 that they charge for some of their Disney premiere movies, like the Mulan movie, where you get it on Disney+, but you have to pay an extra $30 to get it early. They're also doing that again with another movie, Raya and the Last Dragon, in March, so I'll talk about that in a second too. That's another quote-unquote hybrid release movie that they're doing. And apparently the reason why Marvel did not do that with the Black Widow movie last year, because originally they were going to release it in November, didn't have anything to do with them being worried about losing money, because yeah, they'd lose a little bit of money. According to the rumor, it had more to do with the specific clauses in Scarlett Johansson's contract that prevented Disney and Marvel from releasing it on Disney+. Like, apparently Scarlett Johansson's contract for the Black Widow movie has some special terms in it about how they're allowed to release the movie, and how she earns a ton more money from a theatrical release from the box office earnings than from streaming earnings. So apparently Disney and Marvel were legally obligated under the terms of her contract to have to release the movie in theaters in some way. They couldn't just put it on Disney Plus even if they wanted to. What's changed recently, though, why there's all this renewed talk about a hybrid release for Black Widow, them putting it on Disney Plus and in theaters on the same day, has more to do with what happened with the Wonder Woman 1984 movie. That was the first real big comic book movie this past year to do the hybrid release this last Christmas, releasing the movie on streaming on HBO Max the same day that they release it in theaters, where theaters are open around the world, because there are some places where theaters are open. So Warner Brothers is doing this hybrid release strategy for all of its movies in 2021. The big difference between what Warner Brothers is doing and what Disney is doing is that Warner Brothers isn't charging the extra $30 premiere access money that Disney is charging for some of its films. But per this Variety Insights report, Disney and Marvel are starting to feel like delaying the Black Widow movie straight up will just cause more problems than it will solve, so they're thinking about a hybrid release strategy to fix everything. They get to release the movie with no more delays, meaning we get to see Shang-Chi this summer and Eternals in November. No more delays for Marvel movies, because right now, just based on the rate of how fast the virus situation is resolving itself, most summer movies seem like they're going to be fine, like theaters will mostly be open by later this summer. And per this hybrid release strategy, because they'd be releasing Black Widow in some theaters, even if it's not a ton, it would be enough to keep Scarlett Johansson from suing Disney for the tens of millions of dollars she would potentially lose out on. Also, on the side, they'll probably pass her some extra change, like, here, please take a couple extra $1 million, don't sue us. Warner Brothers kind of had to do that with Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins when they released Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max. They gave them a bunch of extra money up front because they weren't going to be earning a lot of extra money on the back end. You probably saw Patty Jenkins making a huge stink about all this. Christopher Nolan got really pissed off about this too when they announced their big 2021 movies plan. And fun fact too, all the newer Marvel Phase 5 movies that they've announced, like the Fantastic Four reboot movie, the Deadpool 3 movie with Ryan Reynolds, Marvel is apparently also altering all their standard movie contracts with everyone to allow for streaming releases if things like this happen in the future. So actors, directors, producers can't sue them if a big problem comes up or another big pandemic, and they have to release movies on streaming. So if you're wondering why you didn't see a lot of Disney movies on Disney Plus last year, it's not so much about them losing money, it's more about lawsuits from people in studio contracts. The next big Disney Plus test that they're running is for the Raya and the Last Dragon movie. It's basically Disney's version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. They just released a new trailer for that this morning as I'm posting this video. That's going to be released the first week in March, so we won't have to wait too long to see what happens with that. But they're charging the extra $30 for the Disney Premiere Access, just like they did with the Mulan movie. So if they're doing that for a Pixar movie, then you can bet that they're going to charge an extra $30 for the Black Widow movie this May, if they also go with the hybrid release strategy, like Variety is saying they will. What'll probably happen, you'll see in the next couple of months, is Marvel will wait till the last possible second that they have to before committing to an actual release strategy. Like, they'll just wait till April to see if things get better, and they don't have to worry about it, and they can just release it normally in theaters like they originally wanted to. Right now, everyone's assuming that things will mostly be back to normal by the summer, so May is just sort of that in-between period. Like, Kevin Feige himself is hopeful that things will be fine, but he also said that he's trying not to make too many assumptions before we actually get to May. So let me know in the comments if you think that Marvel is going to pull the ripcord and do a hybrid release strategy for Black Widow in May, or if you think the theaters will be fine by then. I'll be posting my WandaVision Episode 4 video this Friday, so make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss that. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up. We'll start seeing some more Falcon and Winter Soldier footage really soon too, and some more Loki footage. Everyone click here for my brand new Godzilla vs. Kong trailer video, and click here for my full WandaVision Episode 3 video and all my episode videos. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.